white trout. Kind of been in a little mix of a tough week here. Thought we had some cooler weather coming and then it got hot on us again. Fishing's been a little tough. We started off this morning up in Lakeshore checking the little grassy shorelines in there. All we could manage was a couple bass and a couple throwback specks, but came out here to what we call the dredge holes, and they got them all over the lake. If you've noticed, we've had plenty of dredge boats around as they refill the marsh with mud off the bottom, but when they leave us a deep hole. And sometimes the specks are here, but boy, the white trout love these deep holes, especially as we get into the end of the summer, early fall. So if we can get them on a roll here, we'll do this for a new DockSide TV. And we're using that little small paddle tail matrix shrimp, and we're just cannonballing it down in about, how deep is it in? 35 foot. So it's deep. I'll show you pretty much what I'm doing. A little short cast. Whoop. See how long it takes to get to the bottom. Let the line out. Let it get all the way down there. You want a big drop shot sinker when you're doing that. All right, it just hit. And I just dribble it back in. Little dribbles, and I'm just moving that little shrimp on the bottom. Just moving it around. Not too much. I'm just kind of dancing it down there, trying to entice a strike from a white trout or something maybe even better. And there it is. Just like that, guys. Fun thing to do with your kids. As you saw one of my last, or actually I didn't make an episode, but me and my little one went out the other day and we were on the school trout, white trout, and croakers like piranhas at the 90 bridge. And this way of fishing them, where you just simply drop it straight down like so. It's just so easy for a kid to do it, and such a great way to fish for a little kid. My little daughter had a blast. I told her, showed her how to open a bail, how long you want to, look at this, I want it already, how long you want to hold the, open a bail for before you close it, and then count to 13 was our count, and then just start wiggling that lure around. A pretty one. A pretty one. Pretty whitey. Here we go. Got it. Well, you see the shrimp ran up the line. Got him hooked right in the side. Beautiful little fish. And then, you know, the white trout, honestly, when you fry them up, they taste the same as specks. The problem with white trout is if you catch it a bunch of them and you go to fillet them all and you're wanting to stockpile your freezer, this really isn't a good fish for that. It doesn't really preserve all that well. But if you catch them and eat them that day or the next day fresh, can't beat them. All right, here's the little paddle tail matrix shrimp. Like just under 3 inches long. Beautiful little bait. And that, like I said, that little paddle tail, that little fat tail, is what gives it all its action. So we got the drop shot set up here. And I'm just gonna, right above the drop shot, simply tie an overhand knot, like so. Or it just leaves a little bit of tag line. Then I'm gonna take that tag line, go through the eyelet, and simply put the lure through. And that's your rig right there. Nothing to it. Nothing to it. Let me try to find my mark again of where this dredge hole begins. And I'm looking down at my depth finder. It is just lit up like a Christmas tree. And that's what when you're on a dredge hole and you're looking for white trout and big schools of fish, easy to catch stuff, you better be seeing a lot of stuff on your screen. And we certainly are doing that right now. This might be old Gaffy. Yeah, look at that. Look at that rod tip. Got a lot of gaff top in here too. Pretty standard. Fishing deep holes like this. Catching gaff tops in. White trout together. Now, some people like eating these things. We obviously go fishing plenty enough to where we don't typically keep the gaff tops, but they're very edible. And if you ever, some people might not know the difference between a gaff top and a hardhead. You don't want to eat the hardheads, but the gaff tops have extra long little whisker things past that fin. That's the part that'll sting you right here. Pointy, pointy, don't get hit with that. And that's what tells you it's a gaff top. And they do this to your line. If you ever get a bite and it comes off and you're like, oh, I missed a good one. Well, if it comes up with all of that junk, the slime, that was a good gaff top is what that was. Another white trout for dinner. Another whitey for dinner. And look, guys, this technique is really, really good for anything like 15 foot of water or better, especially if it's got a sweeping current. And we've been fishing places like the Miller's Ditch Bridge, perfect for this technique. Obviously the Highway 90 Bridge, as we've done that a lot. L&N, Seabrook, the 30 foot, 40 foot holes at Seabrook. Fantastic technique for that. It's almost just like vertical jigging. You're just finding it with your depth finder where the deep hole is, and then you just get to the bottom and jiggling it basically straight under the boat. Said L&N's a great spot. The mouth of Unknown Pass, fabulous place to do this. And it's a little tough to feel the bite as you're in 30 to 40 foot of water, but that shrimp's so small, when the fish goes to bite it, they just pretty much hook themselves. You're gonna lift up and you'll feel the extra weight on there. Pretty simple. Kids love doing this, and you know, obviously you pick up some live bait, would help you out, make it a little bit easier, but I hate to waste the money on bait when it's just some school and white trout. They'll pretty much hit anything. But they love this little paddle-tail shrimp on this drop shot, and we're gonna catch a few more and get on out of here. Now with the white trout, I'd say their strength and their effort of fighting is better than the speck, but what they don't do is they don't come up and shake their yellow mouth like a speck does. They dig down and dive. So it's not quite as entertaining, but if you're looking to catch a lot of fish in a short period of time, this is the fish to go after. Especially here in Pontchartrain, this is a white trout haven. Lake Bourne's a white trout haven. And when the specks get tough, the white trout can get really easy. Bumped into something with a little oomph here, a little pullback. I'm hoping it's a red, not a world record gaff top. Oh, I can't see that being a gaff top. It's really ripping some drag. Oh, it might be a gaff top. Oh, look at the size of that dude. That's freaking world record gaff top there. Holy schmoles. Look at that thing. I'm not usually too proud of gaff tops, but I'm telling you, that's one to be proud of. I can't even get my hand around him. You don't want to get stung by this dude. I might go through your arm. Golly, that's a gaff top that I have. Ooh. Oh, you got me all slimed up. Yeah. If this was pure white trout, it'd be pretty awesome, but we're fighting the gaffies too. What we got, Simba? What we got, Simba? Look at this whitey, guys. Whoa. Yeah, baby. That's a good one, huh, Simba? That's a good one there, huh, Buds? Yeah, buddy. Yeah, Simba Buds. Beautiful fish. It's one of the better ones of the day right there. This is what they're running. Between like 10 and 15 inches. This one's 15, 16 inches here. That's a pretty good one. There you at, Mr. White Trout. It's a decent one to end it on. I'm not going to sit here and catch some white trout all day, but you surely can. But I just wanted to show you guys something fun and easy to do. If you're struggling for a bite, look on Google, check some maps, and go ahead and mark all the dredge holes in Lake Pontchartrain and get you some big bank sinkers and a little paddle tail shrimp. That's a great thing, like I said, to bring the kids to do, as it's only going to get better and better. But we're going to start chasing speckled trout as soon as it cools down a little bit. We were on a little speckled trout bite. It warmed up on us and it fizzled off. So we decided to do something different today with the little paddle tail shrimp. So make sure to subscribe to the monthly bait box. You'll be getting some of these paddle tail shrimp in there. Subscribe to the YouTube channel. And don't only go after specks or reds. Sometimes the white trout are right in your backyard every cast. Till next time, guys, good fishing.